Okay, what do you guys think of these things? This is what Midjourney has actually made for me. I'm planning on actually building one of these aircraft, or I should say a mixture of these aircraft. So if we have a little look at this one up here, you guys will see that it has a very funky cockpit, but actually in the end actually looks pretty good. We have the two props at the front, and we have the two massive radial engines at the front, and it just actually looks like quite a nice build. So this is what we are going to be designing it around. However, we're not going to do just this aircraft. We're going to mix it with this one down here, and we're going to go ahead and try and build these booms at the back that hopefully should make it look really cool. So let's go ahead and get on with it, shall we? Alright, so I'm not sure if you guys like the live builds more than the time-lapse builds, or whether you like both of them mixed together, but I think what we'll do today is we'll actually mix them both together. But starting out, let's go ahead and go to fuselage and try and get ourselves a nice shape to at least start with. So let's go ahead and not mirror it. Here we go, no symmetry. Go ahead and drag this guy backwards just above the pilot, and we are going to make it a lot smaller. So this is going to go down to 0.65 instead of 1. There we go. We're going to do the same thing right here, 0.65 instead of 1. And then we're going to do the same thing at the front as well, 0.65. And 0.65. There we go. A bunch of you guys are actually telling me to use the drag thing instead, but I don't think I want to be using the drag thing anyway, so I'm not going to use that just yet. We might end up using it in the future. But anyway, for right now, let's go ahead and grab this guy and start designing how the cockpit is actually going to look. So how is the cockpit gonna look? Well, it's gonna look kind of weird. It's gonna look very, very weird. So if we mirror the X, what we'll do is we'll actually drag this guy way into the sky, just like this. And essentially, this is how the cockpit is gonna be made. There we go. Something along the lines of that. It looks strange, but it actually looks like what we want. So let's go backwards and paste it into there. There we go. And make it a little bit smaller. There we go. And I think we can make a fuselage out of this. So now it's time for the time lapse. Okay, so let's go ahead and get on with building the actual cockpit then, shall we? I don't know how, I didn't know how I was actually going to go about doing this, to be totally honest with you guys. But at the back, I decided to go ahead and make that into a circle straight away. Now, you will notice this is a little bit too small. In fact, it is very much too small. And I end up extending this out actually a lot, like a lot, in the end. But going forwards, I do think we actually do a pretty good job with going forwards. As you guys can see, we're doing it in lots of different little separate pieces, and this is going to allow us to actually do the windows, which is quite a nice thing, because that is exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted to have like a flat front end for some windows to actually be there, which is cool. I do end up changing this a little bit in the future in terms of the actual length of this thing, but that's alright. We also actually added a bunch of, I want to say straps or supports, I guess. These things right here that I'm building, because we needed them, honestly. Otherwise, it would look very strange, which it did. Yeah, there you go. As you guys can see, we're building them all in. We then wanted to add some, like, extra little struts going forwards, but that didn't look right. So I had to move these guys slightly closer together on the side in order for them to actually connect, which, I think actually worked out, because then we could add a little bit of a strut going all the way through the side, which you'll see in a second. Here we go. Look at this. Bam! There you go. And that, honestly, actually looks pretty good. So we do that all the way to the front, all the way down to the front, I believe, and then we have to build the front end on. But first, I'm like, oh, this looks weird. Let's go ahead and attach this piece in. There you go. We then go ahead and extend this out, which honestly still looks very strange to me, and I don't know whether we've done that right. But this is me then deciding, oh, it's a little bit too short, which honestly it was. It still is. So I might even make it shorter than this. I'm not sure. But anyway, we also wanted some windows going backwards as well. So this is us adding windows going backwards. Honestly, this bit actually looks really good. And I do actually really like it. But yeah, look at it. Bam! There we go. Nice. And then I think I do the same thing on the other side. All right, it's already done on the other side. And there we go. I wanted a little bit of a shape out of this as well, so I went ahead and pulled these guys upwards and pushed them inwards. And honestly, that doesn't look terrible. I think I added some more going backwards as well, so we added some windows right here, and that looks awesome. It does look awesome. I then wanted the shape to actually work as well right here, so I actually ended up sending this bit upwards and backwards as well. And hopefully that shape actually looks okay, which, honestly, I think it does. There you go. Bam! Alright, what is this? This is the rear end. I don't know what I'm doing here. I think I'm actually making it skinnier because it was very chunky before. So these are all getting skinny. Here we go. Yes! And that goes all the way skinny to the end. There we go. Lovely. Nice. I do think I extend this a little bit more as well. Yeah, here we go. We're extending it even further than it was because, honestly, it wasn't extended enough before. So there you go. Each of these going to get extended. There we go. And then the final one gets extended as well. And voila. There we go. Lovely. What do you guys think of that? I think it looks awesome. I actually think it looks really good. We then decided, oh, we need to actually put the pilot in here. And also maybe a co-pilot as well. So I'm trying to position this so it looks right-ish. So there's the pilot in the front. I then wanted a second pilot, a co-pilot, to go in the back. So there you go. I actually added one. Bam! Let's go ahead and send this guy forwards so it actually fits inside the cockpit. And honestly, that looks really nice. Really nice. I need to stop saying the same words as I do voiceovers. It's just very difficult to do that. But yeah, look at it. It's cool. I said it again. I said cool again. Interesting. Anyway, trying to fit this guy into the right location and at the right height was a little bit difficult, but it worked. Alright, so this is what we currently have. It is not exactly like the one that we were trying to build, but it is not bad. It looks weird, and that was the whole point of this. It was designed to look strange. I would love to actually put some sort of like ring around there, so actually, let's go ahead and do that one together. So we just add a loop, we go ahead and we take it to the inside of this, and we attach it onto there like this. We then get ourselves another loop and we put it in a little bit further forwards, just like so. And then we go ahead and assign a material, make it default, and whack it in there, there, and essentially all the way around. And then that should actually look pretty cool. Honestly, I think it does. So there we go. Nice. Anyway, what we want to do now is actually design some sort of wing system. Now, I'm not entirely sure how the wings on this are going to look, but let's go ahead and make sure we have them on both sides, otherwise we will have issues. And then essentially we need a leading edge, we need a trailing edge, and we need to go from there. So, this side is actually going to be really big in terms of its actual height, so we're going to go ahead and do something like this. And actually, this is going to be a very skinny start. So it's going to look like this, kind of. We're going to go ahead and send these guys backwards a little bit, just like that. And this guy is actually going to come forwards a little bit too. There we go. Okay, so now that we've got this, let's go ahead and move the entire thing backwards. There we go. Go ahead and try and shove it into the side of the actual aircraft, which might look weird to begin with. Obviously, it is going to look weird on the inside, but that's okay. And then if I can, I want to go ahead and get rid of the push rod. There we go. We don't want any push rod on this at all. So there you go. From there, I don't know what I'm going to do. I kind of feel like this piece could actually come out. And then a few of these guys could actually come out as well. Just like, kind of like that. There you go. Just so it fits in a little bit better. And we could do something with this guy as well, I suppose. But honestly, it doesn't actually fit in the bottom. So that doesn't really work out. Not really anyway. So let's go ahead and push these guys back in. And have it just merge in. That's fine. Interiors are something that I haven't really worked on very much in this game yet, but in the future, we will work on them a little bit more. Anyway, for now, let's go ahead and send this to be a lot bigger. There we go. We're actually going to go crazy with that, pretty much. There we go. Nice. And then we're going to go and make this guy slightly bigger. And this guy is slightly bigger also. There we go. And we're going to build it out from there. Now, I would love to actually have this sort of angled, but that's not something I know how to do. Not yet, anyway. Which is really annoying, because I feel like I should know how to do that. But I don't. So, what I'm thinking we do is not that. Okay, that is rolling the entire aircraft. I don't want to do that. Okay, grab this. And we're going to roll this, so it's actually pointing downwards. Which is kind of weird. That is very, very strange. But I think we can get away with it if we extend this one and roll it back up, if that makes sense. So, let's grab this guy. We'll roll it back to where this one wants it. Here we go. I can't remember how much I rolled it by, though, but there we go. Do something like this. We're then going to go ahead and essentially push this guy into it, and hopefully that'll work out. I'm sure it will. Maybe. So let's go ahead and grab this guy and start building our actual wing. Here we go. So this is going to come out. We're going to go ahead and send this guy forwards. as well as this guy, actually, just a little bit. There we go, nice. And inwards a little bit more. Why is that, like, so high in the sky? Hang on, why is that so high in the sky? Why is it up there? I'm confused. All right, you know what? Instead of angling it down, because I think that's going to cause quite a few problems, let's just go ahead and get it back to somewhat normal. There we go, good. Make sure it is somewhat inside of the piece that we need it to be inside of, so we'll just push it sideways, and then we'll go from there. If I didn't want to do it this way, by the way, with the pushing sideways business, I'd probably actually build this bit out of the fuselage, out of this bit of the fuselage, but because I've modified this bit so much, I feel like modifying the fuselage would be a bad idea. Just a little bit anyway. So, let's not do that. We want to modify the wings here, so let's go ahead and open this up. And we'll actually split it. Yes, there we go, just like so. I think I split that. Did it work? I think it did. Yes, good. And essentially, these guys are going to come out sideways, and we'll move them around when it comes to it. So let's send it out quite far. Here we go, to about here. That's fine. Go ahead and grab these two. We'll have it angle forwards from the back end, and we'll also actually have it angle backwards from the front end as well, just a little bit. There we go. And then in between, we'll obviously start cutting and making it a different shape as well. So open this up, grab this guy. Let's go ahead and send this further forwards. Hey, there we go. That actually looks pretty cool. We're then going to grab this guy and send this one further forwards too. And as we go out sideways, I want to make it go skinnier. Otherwise, we'll have a very chunky wing all the way through, and that is not what we want. Going to go ahead and make it a little bit skinnier there. There we go, good. I think the wing itself is actually maybe a little bit too big here. So I'm going to grab each and every one of these guys, and I'm going to do this. Hey, there we go. Does that look better or worse? I'm not sure. I don't think it's as tall as I wanted it to be, but that's okay. That's fine for now. All right, so let's go ahead and cut this guy. And I want to round off the end of the wing as well. So let's go ahead and grab this one and do it this way. Grab this one, do it this way. And also make it smaller. There we go. Okay, good. Yes. I mean, I think this is somewhat working. Maybe. I'm going to grab these two and I'm going to do this. And I think that'll do for now on the wings. I think they need to be a lot bigger though, in terms of length. I think they need to be a lot longer. So let's grab each and every one of these. There we go. Awesome. Drag those out. And there we go. That seems a lot more appropriate, I think. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is design the tail, and I'll do that in a time lapse. Okay, so this is where you guys see me actually do the back end, but first, let's go ahead and sort out that nose. I wanted it to be a little bit more squidged, and also I wanted the, you know, it just to look a little bit nicer than it did. So this is me trying to do that. I made it flatter there, I then made it flatter here, and a little bit wider, and then I squidged it a little bit to look like that. Don't know whether that looks good. I actually think it looks pretty bad, but we're going to go ahead and keep it. Anyway, this is us trying to figure out how we're going to do the back end. I essentially went ahead and skewered these guys into the side. I wanted it to poke out sideways, which seems a little bit strange to be honest, but yes, I wanted them to go out sideways and then backwards. This isn't very good for drag, but still pretty cool. So I actually extended them out sideways like this. I then did that one, and yes, they are weird. It is a very, very strange way of doing it, and honestly, probably not a very good way of doing it, but there you go. Bam! Alright, cool. So now we're adding the horizontal stabilizers. I wanted those to be a little bit more round, so that's what I'm doing right here, trying to make it rounder, and I squidged it down a little bit too. There you go. I then wanted a vertical stabilizer as well. I didn't want them to be like completely 90 degrees vertical, but I did want them to go upwards, so that is what we've done right here. I then wanted them to be a little bit smaller because at the minute they were a little bit too big. And then I decided, oh, I actually need something on the inside as well to look nice. So I went ahead and made these guys very small to begin with. And I put them on the inside like this. There you go. I actually even rotated it sideways. But yeah, that seemed a little bit too small. But I think we did an okay job in the end. So I extended these guys forwards just a little bit. And honestly, that looks pretty good. I then wanted the bottom side doing as well. So I essentially just extended the bottom side as well. And pushed that up into the right place as well, I believe. I think I did anyway. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Go ahead and shove it up into there. The angle disappears. And that looks awesome. There you go. And now we are moving on to the actual engines. Now, I didn't know whether to do this with you guys actually watching live or to do it like this, but I decided this made sense. So they're radial engines. They are 3 rows, and then they are... I don't know how many cylinders we actually put on there, but 1, 2... I can't actually count it from here. We did quite a few cylinders. That's 6, isn't it? That's 6. So 6 times... What is it? 3? 6 times 3? We got 18 cylinders there per engine. So that's actually quite big. Those are quite big engines. Anyway, I decided to actually just push those guys into there. We then needed a gearbox so that we could attach the propellers. We then attached the propellers to the front of there and made them 3 blades. I counterclockwise that one, and that looked interesting, but I wasn't sure it was going to work. We then did a little bit of work on the wings, and there you go. Honestly, that looks cool, right? That looks really good. I then split this because I decided that the roll was too big. So I wanted to go to the end and make that end bit roll. I then wanted to do all of these guys as well. So this is me actually putting everything together. And there you go. Look at that. Nice. What do you guys think of the shape overall? And what do you guys think of the weirdness of the tail? I think it's very strange. And honestly, we could have done straight booms, but that would have looked like a normal aircraft. And I didn't want to do that. Anyway, we're painting. Here we go. I wanted to do it in the design of the AI thing, so we did with blue and brown and a little bit of grey in the end. These are just loads of random shapes as well, so we got some triangles in there, we got some squares in there, we go ahead and put them all around, and that looks awesome in the end. I wanted to do the cowlings in their own little colour, but honestly in the end these don't really work out, but that's okay, because we add a little bit of grey everywhere anyway. Here we go, look at that. More grey is going in. It does look strange with all of this. I couldn't seem to paint the outside of that wing. I don't know why. But, yeah. It turns out it actually works quite well. Here we go. Bosh. I then added a little bit of grey to the front. I don't know whether I added it all the way across the top. I'm not sure. But here we are adding some landing gear. There you go. On both sides. I think I have this fold inwards. Whoa. Yes. Just like this. But I wanted it to sort of peek out the bottom. I don't know why I wanted that. I don't think that's a very good idea in the end anyway. But, yeah. I moved them to the side so they're not interfering with each other. The rear landing gear was a little bit of a pain in the butt because I didn't know where to put it. So this is me essentially trying to figure out where we could actually put these guys. I think I eventually settled for this. So I angle it backwards like so. We make it turnable and it works. It works. And then this is us spawning in, seeing if it'll actually take off, and us flying, and you guys will see that I believe it actually did take off first time. The engines were over revving. Oh, maybe not first time. The engines were over speeding, and the propellers aren't quite right. But yeah, I do think we get into the sky. I think so. Let's see if it does. Come on. Get into the air, big boy. Come on. Hey, there we go. Nice. So then it flies. Yeah. Okie dokie, so this is where we are currently at. Now, this thing does actually fly as it stands, but it doesn't fly too well. So what I'm going to do is actually lower this by about 10, go ahead and lower this by about 5, and leave this one at about 5 as well. So that one's actually going to increase, which seems a little bit strange. But let's go ahead and spawn it in, and I'll show you guys how this thing actually flies. Honestly, in the previous little bit, a bunch of the control surfaces were inverted, so I fixed that. And now it should just work. At least I think, anyway. So let's go ahead and throttle up. Here we go. Have a little look at this. So these want to be between, like, 5 and 8. Something like that. Uh-oh. Oh, now my tail is actually inverted. Okay, never mind. So what the difference was the landing gear down here was actually different to the twist of this, of our yaw. But now we fixed that, so that's okay. These are nowhere near in the right place, which is annoying. But let's go ahead and try and take off. Here we go. In fact, lower the flaps down. Here we go. Yeah, we're doing it. We're in the air. Nice. Landing gear up. There we go. Fandabby-dozy. I've actually left it on the outside. I thought that would be kind of cool. So there you go. There you go. This thing actually flies. Nice. Okay, so we've been flying for a little while. It is worth mentioning our engines are pretty stably at about 79 degrees at an altitude of 5,000 feet. Now, I'm not too sure how high something like this would actually fly, But we are ascending sort of very slowly. We're still going up, which is kind of cool. But yeah, we're at 176 miles an hour. We are flying. Everything's going well. Our livery actually looks kind of cool. Don't know about the landing gear. I kind of feel like that should fit into something, and that would be really cool, but I don't know. But yeah, we've built it. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of it. And, yeah. I gotta do one more thing. Alright, here we go. This is the one more thing. We're gonna go ahead and put some stars on it. Yeah, stars. Woo! So, a star is gonna go... In fact, if we go to top, here we go. We zoom in. We should be able to get some really cool stars going on here. So we'll actually put them about there. I don't know whether they should be blue or not blue. I don't really know. Maybe go with this kind of blue. Oh, that looks kind of cool. Okay, so scale it down. Here we go. And then put that blue inside of that blue. And then we have some stars. Hey, nice. I would also like to put them here as well. So let's go ahead and do that. So do this guy. Okay. And this guy. All right, set this back to 1. All right, fantastic. Go ahead and make it white. White, please. There we go. Nice. Actually, this should be a little bit lower. There we go. Down to 0.79. Oh, yes. There we go. Bash that on there. Go ahead and get ourselves the blue color. Drop it down by quite a bit. And bam. There we go. That's quite a cool little logo right there. I like it. It's nice colors, and it works. Totally works. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here for now. We've built it. We haven't really tested it. It does need testing quite a little bit more. But yeah, I've actually had quite a lot of fun building this one. I'm also going to give it a supercharger because I feel like it should have one. But anyway, for now, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you guys very much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.